Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schnee, and you are watching the CD Junkie. On this episode of the CD Junkie, I'm going to be talking about a band from Madison, Wisconsin. Actually, I'm going to be talking about two bands from Madison, Wisconsin, but there's a little bit of a crossover here, and the bands I'm referring to are Spooner and Firetown. Now, you may be going, Spooner? I don't know about that. You may be thinking Firetown. Well, maybe, I kind of remember. But you're definitely going to remember the drummer, Butch Vig, because he produced some monumental albums in the 90s, including Nirvana's Nevermind. I mean, he was producer and the man about town for quite a while. But both the drummer of Spooner and Firetown, Butch Vig, who I just talked about, and the singer-guitar player, Doug Erikson, they formed Garbage with Shirley Manson, formerly of Goodbye, Mr. McKenzie. And, of course, a lot of people are very familiar with Garbage. Now, we're not going to go into Garbage or any of Butch Vig's productions. We're going to focus strictly on the bands Spooner and Firetown. Now, Spooner was, I believe they formed in about the mid-70s in Madison, Wisconsin. Doug Erikson on vocals and guitar, Butch Vig on drums. You also had Dave Benton on guitar and vocals. You had Joel Tapero on bass. You had Jeff Walker on keyboards. And there were some slight changes, I think, on the three Spooner albums. But generally speaking, that was the lineup that I believe at least made the first or second album. And no disrespect to the other band members, by the way. There's a Wikipedia page, and I highly recommend you to check it out. But this was a really great band. A lot of people call them Power Pop at first. And the fact that Gary Klebe from SHOES produced their first album, or co-produced their first album, might make them fall into that category. But there was so much more than that, because they had that Americana vibe. They weren't just playing this sort of British, hello type power pop. You know, they were playing stuff that was a little bit more in depth and a little bit more layered. You know, they had keyboards, but it wasn't synth pop. It was, organ, I don't know, Farfisa or Hammond or whatever. And they just had this great sound. It's very original. I mean, the Spooner sound led into the Firetown sound, but we'll get to that. And that's probably due to the fact that Doug Erikson was, up front, the main vocalist for both bands. But Spooner put out a couple singles, I think in 79 and 80. They didn't put out their first album, Every Corner Dance, until 1982. Now, I'm going to show you a CD right now. And that basically has the first two albums on it. The first album is called Every Corner Dance. That's the one I was just talking about. So I'm going to focus on that right here. That's what the album cover there looks like. And you're looking at just great pop music, great dynamics and catchy melodies. And as I said before, a lot of depth and a lot going on there between these band members. Just great. Now, it was a local thing. I don't think this thing was released nationally. I think it was probably along the lines of, like, let's say Fool's Face and bands like that, where they were really big regionally, but didn't really branch out. Now, speaking of Fool's Face, somebody's got to put that stuff legitimately on CD. Hello, if you haven't heard Fool's Face, definitely check them out. Anyway, back to Spooner here. Spooner, great band. Their second album, Wildest Dreams, on the same CD, that came out in 1984. And like all good bands, you know, these guys had been playing together for a while, and they got comfortable, and they sort of jigged with their sound a little bit. Still the same great pop band, but Wildest Dreams was a more mature album, moving forward just a step, but it still sounded very much like Spooner. Power pop meets Americana, meets a little bit of folk, meets classic rock, but it's still very, very pop. So somewhere along the line, Spooner broke up, or maybe just went on hiatus, and Doug Erikson and Butch Vig, along with Phil Davis and Tom Lavarda, formed a band called Firetown. Now, this band, they won a battle of the underground basement battle band on MTV, and they got signed to Atlantic Records, and they released an album called In the Heart of the Heart Country in 1987. Now, this was actually, from what I remember, a lot more commercially successful than the two Spooner albums. So it was really exciting to see these guys finally gaining recognition. And because they're great songwriters, Firetown was even more Americana than Spooner. Like I said, Spooner's not really an Americana band per se, but there's essence of Americana. And at that point, there wasn't even Americana, maybe Heartland or, folk rock or something. But the Firetown album did very, very well. And then Firetown followed that up in 1989 with an album called The Good Life. And this was another fine, fine album of wonderfully crafted songs, great songwriters. That's the thing about Spooner, Firetown, Garbage, whatever these guys are involved with, their songcraft is excellent, wonderful. But then after that, Firetown broke up, and then Spooner returned in 1990 with an album called The Fugitive Dance. And this was a perfect continuation. It had that Firetown sound, but it also had the Spooner sound. But this Fugitive Dance album actually has my favorite song from all these releases called Sleep Out Under the Stars. Why is it that song that captured me more than anything else? It doesn't matter, because it did. And it's a wonderful song. Following the Spooner Fugitive Dance album, Butch Vig began his, claim to fame with producing Nirvana and all that kind of stuff, and then came the group Garbage. Anyway, if you have not heard Spooner or Firetown, you are in for a treat, because what I've done is I've put together a medley featuring 2 songs from each of the albums that I just talked about, just snippets of the songs. And I put the Spooner songs first from all 3 of those albums, and then I follow that up with songs from the 2 Firetown albums. There was a digital release by Spooner that was kind of a best of, that brought together some of their early recordings and rarities and stuff, and I don't believe that has been released physically on CD. If it was, then I missed it, and I would love for if it's out there somewhere, for somebody to let me know, and I can try to track it down. Otherwise, it's only available digitally. But anyway, sit back, relax, give this medley a listen, and I will see you on the other side.
Will you remember me? Will you remember me? Will you remember me? I know I will remember you, oh yeah. Remember you, oh yeah. Remember you, oh yeah. You walk that empty street again. Take that breath and hold it in. You take
that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this look into the groups Spooner and Firetown. Two great bands that you should really check out. Whether or not you're a Garbage fan, as long as you love great pop music, this is a band for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell for future notifications. And until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie.